What is going on YouTube? This is Acidic Roots on Frenchy Talents YouTube. So this particular healthy popcorn pitch like that has to do with like the particular phrase amongst like the issues that are going on with Cuba currently pitched like that. So it's the ordeal as far as saying some of the products. There's like a particular kind of embargo and pitch like that that's been going on with some type aspects as far as just like a halting of like fuel and things like that supply within product of the economy of Cuba pitch like that. So it's a phrase for us saying basically having blackouts, disease, and like lack of water and so on and so forth like that. So the pitch for us saying is paying attention to something to phrase just the goings on as far as just kind of the question here about something to phrase as far as like how the get up could change within some of the aspects as far as paying attention like Cuba and pitch like that. Within some of these particular type fairs, as far as saying, it makes you wonder what sort of atom bomb particularly hit Cuba within the past 2 weeks within these fairs. It felt like they may have had it bad within some of the past good whiles, but it seems like it's really kind of skyrocketed within some of the pitch as far as like the fair just like it feels like they're in kind of lifeline type mode right now within these pitches as far as these players can have. So it's within pitch for saying you can't even read a cookbook within sense of phrase in Cuba as far as these players can have for like making like a makeshift dinner or something like that. It's kind of for at least at nighttime pitch like that. Now they might have candles, fairs like that within those pitches, but probably within product of like the oven doesn't work in sense of phrase makes you question particularly the get up of how like supplies of what particularly the grub type fare with like dining type product kind of be a sense of pitches. It's kind of seems within the aspect, in my opinion, some sort of every man for himself type fray out there as far as this pitching. I'm just what the hell they kind of wind up doing. What afraid of what the hell, afraid of what the hell they wind up doing. Just particularly just playing cards and ketchup packet sandwiches as far as this pitching. It's probably about the straight and narrow of it as far as this pitching. I'm just having to basically go inside of Wendy's if there's Wendy's out there pitch like that. Just kind of say, hey, I'll pay you $5 for like 20 of these pitches like that to just have like sandwiches for the weeks for something like that within those pitches. Just they went back to 1915 pretty pronto pitch like that. Just disease also within those pitches as far as like the goings on with what's happening out there pitch like that. But as far as saying it's kind of the fair like on top of that, there's some further tough phrases as far as saying despite the seeming kind of questionable background to the leader, which particularly the folk that was kidnapped recently particular folk, Raul Castro within these pitches has had an indictment as far as his physical damage within the pitch for saying in particular, despite the seemingly questionable backgrounds of that leader as far as his physical damage, Raul Castro as far as his physical damage, the actual fray parent. According to Google, Cubans out there have been pro-government and have been kind of holding protests against the United States for the aspect of the abduct the aspect of the abduction and the indictment of their leader as far as his physical analysis within pitch for saying it's kind of strange. It's actually kind of questionable within those pitches for the fair kind of have. It's not to say questionable like that, but the pitch is just kind of it's a bizarre stuff. It's a bizarre type sentiment with some of the pitch as far as paying attention towards it that Cubans are pro government. It's within the phrase as far as saying the reason for the exile behind the reason for the indictment of the Cuban president with those pitches is because of a particular shooting down of some American planes back in 1996. For those supposed to happen within pitch, probably some of these people, their rhetoric with certain pitches like that, as far as like the phrase can happen. Now there were deaths with those shooting downs with back in those particular days. Pitch like that, the phrase for us saying the particular fair like the particular tone of probably the likelihood of some of their justification pitches like that. They probably had to the likelihood. Now, this is 2 cents in terms of healthy popcorn, just being doofy and idiotic pitch like that. The phrase for us saying he didn't shoot down those people. He was just testing their military kind of capabilities on the fly as far as this phrase and something like that. It's kind of fair, just like complex kind of conversation out there within those phrases, kind of saying, yeah, he didn't shoot down those people. He was just testing to see how their parachute skills kind of work, pitch like that. They just didn't react quickly enough as far as those phrases. It's kind of we gave them 4 minutes to get out of the plane throws his first down before we shot the sunset pitch. But it's kind of probably, just fares like that. It's kind of the question there as far as just being able to pay attention, whether or not it was just an immediate kind of shoot down, just a pitch, or just someone's the phrase of this. It's those sorts of phrases of like the backing within those phrases of this, like the aspect of Cuba standing in solidarity with like the foulness factor as far as this fits down within like the product of like the scandal and pitches like that as far as those first guy was this with the aspect, but it did seemingly kind of happen within those pitches as far as those first gonna happen. Ignore the fent and those boots we have stationed in Florida, so as the pitches further logic within those phrases for the pitch can happen rhetoric within those phrases. But this pitch for us saying is the probably got fentanyl in the boots, so as pitch like that's kind of phrase for us saying so as that pitch is the get ups like makeshift type shop setups in Florida pitch like that, so it's a phrase, but it's the product kind of it. But